Hey guys, I'm Billy Barton with Kontek Industries, and today we're going to take a few minutes and talk to you about the top 5 benefits of our mobile response MRS Shield to set it apart from other options in the industry. All right guys, so starting off, obviously the main purpose and benefit of this guy is it's going to provide you or your team cover, and that's ballistic rated, rifle rated protection from your threats as you approach a target building, as you make entry into a building, or even as you clear a building, depending on the scenario. It's great that we have such good body armor, helmets, things these days, but we all know that those have to be small enough to not weigh down the operator and allow him to still respond, be agile, and be mobile. What this guy does is it seals up all those holes that we have in our body armor and actually provides us full ballistic protection as we're making an entry, as we're traveling through some of those vulnerable positions, like moving up and approaching a target building where you're vulnerable from lots of different windows, things like that. This is going to seal up all those holes and actually provide you or your team protection as you're making those movements. So a huge advantage of the specific MRS systems, and it's very modular and customizable depending on your specific needs. So for instance, with our ballistic levels of protection, we can customize this based upon your threat assessment, what threats you think you might be able to run into, or your specific needs for your mission, your SOPs. So we can run this all the way down to pistol rated protection if that's all you need and you want to cut weight to increase your mobility with this guy, or we can run it up all the way to the whatever top caliber you can think of. We can rate this thing to protect you and your guys, different numbers of shots, different things of that nature. So whatever your specific needs are, we can customize this to your needs and your budget. All right guys, the other really cool thing about the MRS, it sets it apart from any system that I'm aware of, is it really does give an individual operator the ability to not only drive and move this thing while staying completely behind cover, but actually return fire in a really effective way while still being mobile. The way the system's designed is that I can actually run my rifle through the gun port while having visibility through my optic through this ballistic glass viewport, and I still have the ability to drive this system to make turns. Whatever I need to do, I can do with this system while still returning fire. And it's actually a bit of a force multiplier, is increased lethality, because it locks my gun into place with a custom sized gun port, depending on what your weapon system may be. If you're running suppressors, different muzzle devices, whatever the case may be, we'll customize this gun port to you and your system. And that way it'll lock your rifle in and actually make it really easy in a braced, almost bench rest type position to return accurate fire. All right guys, so something we wanted to design into this system was obviously enough size to support a team or a stack behind this shield. The challenge there, with a lot of the bigger shields, it's tough pushing through interior positions, getting through doorways. So what we did for our next benefit on the MRS is design these flexible side panels that provide you ballistic rated protection for a greater area. But when you do need to push through your conventional 36-inch commercial doors, these flaps are just going to fold back out of the way as you push through the door and then slide back into place. As soon as you get back through, they're all spring loaded, so it comes back by itself and provides you that increased protection. All right guys, so the last benefit we're going to talk about with the Mobile Response Shield is the flexibility based upon your team, your threat, your SOPs to respond however you need to. If I'm an individual operator, the way I just showed you, I'm able to drive this shield by myself and still be able to respond and neutralize a threat. But if I have a team or a stack, this thing has enough size to allow me to stack my guys either in a straight line or flanking positions and still be getting a heck of a lot of cover from this thing from any downrange threat. So I can run this either as an individual operator or as a team. I can be responding from one side, responding from both sides at the same time, or just have a stack lined up waiting on a breach or whatever the case may be. So it gives you that flexibility to respond however you need to. All right guys, so that was top 5 benefits of the Mobile Response Shield. Hopefully that answered some of your questions. If you're interested, have any more questions, need anything from us, please feel free to reach out anytime. info@kontekindustries.com is the best email address to get a hold of us. Again, my name is Billy Barton with Kontek. We look forward to working with you.